some of the questions you guys have asked, and wow. Impressed. I'm impressed. Okay. First of all, the golden dickle of the day. We're going to go that to Buffalo Warrior.
Dickle.
Nice moves, Buff. He was even here before I started. Mr. Delight, the Silver Jinkies. And Nullhammer, the Bronze Zoinks.
Zoinks!
No, nice moves. Who do we get certificates of achievement? Ellie Games, welcome in. My niece. Thank y'all for the pro mod. Thank you, Buff, for the pro moderation and the shout outs to some of the other cool streamers we got in here today. We got Stripey, Dig Up Stupid. We got Devil Kane, Person 624, Indy Campo, Optimus Prime, Big Ben. Looks like we figured out how to actually ask a question. Books is here. Bowser 724. Vex, hello. I think I'm almost caught up. Enigmatics, good to have you. Who else? Pro Hexen, Mr. Merv, Dong Diggity, Geeks. Who else we got? I miss anyone? Nate Dogg is here. KG Dot, Farrakha Delight. Yo, nice moves. Thank you so much. We're doing a special stream today because we did a fundraiser last weekend, and you guys just opened your hearts and your wallets and just your time. And it was over $5,000 raised for the trans community. I'll have you know, the director from, I'll tell you what they said. They sent me a DM. I'll give you the part that you guys are going to want to hear. Hang on. There's a DM for this. Okay. This was from, okay. Hi there. My name's Jeff. I'm the board of directors, secretary, and co-founder of Point of Pride. On behalf of the folks we serve, I just wanted to take a moment and sincerely thank you for your recent fundraising stream. We were blown away by your followers and supporters' generosity in reaching an incredible goal of 5,000 raised. I also wanted to let you know we will honor the spirit and wishes of your stream and your supporters. Our board of directors has earmarked your funds to clear out waiting lists for youth in Texas, Florida, and several other states currently facing anti-trans legislation. In fact, this will completely clear out our waiting list of youth under 18 nationwide. Again, thank you for this incredibly impactful gift. We can't wait to utilize these funds on folks who need support ASAP. If you'd like to stay connected to our org with periodic updates, feel free to drop your email and blah, 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 blah. He sent me a little nice little thing. And I responded to him and just said I'm glad that we could do something. But the fact that he told me that we were able to clear out their entire waiting list nationwide, that's thanks to y'all. That's thanks to this community, and that is just amazing. So, what up, Leo? And welcome in. Yeah, Atomic Runner, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to have to lose it. Yeah. This is the man behind the beer. Now, my name is Jimmy. We'll get to where Jimbles came from in a little bit. So, it was a big impact, guys. So, thank you guys again. It's an amazing, amazing feat. And I know that we just had an immediate impact on a lot of people. And that's huge. Like, we literally are helping change some lives for a positive way. And I'm super proud. I'm super proud of y'all. I'm super proud of this community. And it's just a great feeling. So, anywho, one of the things that you guys did, I've got a bunch of stretch goals to get to. And we're gonna try and knock out as many as we can in this one stream. I've given you guys a live on cam AMA for the next few hours. I'm gonna answer all your questions about streaming or just general questions. Terms of service appropriate, of course. If you want to know what it's all about, just type in !AMA in the chat room. So, oh wow! Whoa! It's on my face!
This is such a great community and I'm so glad to be part of it.
Thank you, Enigmatics. That was very kind. I like that pride flag bit emote too. You're too kind. Thank you for the bits. So Yes, Jimbles is the beer persona. But you guys can call me Jimbles here. My actual name that I go by when I'm not streaming is Jimmy. Which, if you've been around long enough, you know that. Some people that have been around a while will still call me Jimmy and here, and either one's fine. You can call me Jimmy, you can call me Jimbles, but Jimbles is my persona, I guess you could say, on Twitch. So, or maybe it's the other way around, like ProHexen said. Yeah. It wouldn't happen without you guys. Yeah. Of course, it would. I mean, it couldn't have happened without me, but it couldn't happen without y'all. We're in a symbiotic parasocial relationship. So, yes, Uncle Jimmy, Uncle Beer Jimbles. Yes. It is. Yeah, we got a special AMA today. What up, JB? We get a caster command. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Jay Brucifer a few years ago on a visit to Portland. And we got to hang out and we played arcade games together. I found out that he might be the worst Street Fighter 2 player like in the history of all mankind. I probably could have beaten him using just one hand, but you know, other than that, he's amazing. He's an amazing man, great streamer, and I'm never gonna let you forget that. Yes, we are all Jimbles, right? What up, Dead by April? Welcome in. It's good to have y'all. Okay, so this is my streaming lair that we just built a couple months ago. My wife did most of the building. I just helped carry shit mainly. And you can't see really in the front. I've shown you guys some video of this. This is where all the new magic happens. So, yes. It's nice. You can kind of see it. Hold on. I got a TV right here. So like I got the stream up on like a TV. It's got on a swivel mount. If you look on this side, I've got like a couch. Hang on. And you can kind of see the back shelf shit. I'm kind of blocking it, but you know. Yes, it's my casting couch. I have a casting couch right here. It's right here. So I will also, since I'm doing a cam stream for the first few hours of today's 12-hour stream, yeah, I will be happy to give you guys a beer dance as well. Okay. Darksaber. I actually have a Darksaber lamp, but it's plugged in over there in the corner. But I actually do have a Darksaber lamp. Yeah, it's going to be a serious stream. I'm not going to be going hard in the paint with a lot of booze. I'll keep it on. If I drink any beer, I got water. I am still going to be sipping on some beers, but nothing heavy ABV. Make sure I mix in plenty of water. What up, Master Gemini? Hello. Okay, so first question. Let me get to this first question. This one is from Books. The first question on the AMA is, where did Jimbles' name come from? So, Jimbles, it's something that sometimes my brother, Casper, would call me. And I want to say it was a couple years ago when it started just occasionally being used in chat. And then like it was kind of like it's amalgamation of both of my first and last name, and so my brother kind of knows that. And what up, Whiskey? Anywho, hang on, let me turn this down to scotch. It was kind of an amalgamation of those things. And when I took on the Avatar beer persona, it just kind of made sense to kind of stick it with a name. And so that's where it just kind of stuck. Really, when I made the transition to stop being a webcam streamer and use an avatar, that's when that kind of became more prevalent. So to answer your question, that's where it came from, and it just kind of stuck. It was like a lot of things on stream, you never really know what people are going to find funny. Like this.
The tickle.
The tickle sound effect. I mean, it's a meme at this point, and half of us don't even really know what it means. It's just kind of funny, you know? It's just kind of funny. It's just kind of weird. So, all right, so this next question comes from That Family Games. And guys, I'm going to try and answer questions that you guys put in and address those first. So if I miss you in chat, it's not intentional, okay? What up, Grunt? I enjoy the mystery of the dickle.
The tickle.
Mm-hmm. All right. What up, Pool Boy? Hey, welcome in. Go give Grunt a follow. He's one of my favorite retro streamers to watch on Twitch. He's a Kiwi also. He's a New Zealander. And he's got a very unique, great sense of humor. So, Pool Boy, welcome in. Okay. Let's see here. Next question comes from That Family Games, also known as Paul, who asks, who are some streamers you really admire? So this question, this is a tough one to answer because there are a lot of streamers I admire, but I'm not going to cop out. I'm going to tell you some of the ones that I personally have looked up to over the years. And I'll start with Future Man Gaming. He's literally one of the first streamers I ever watched on Twitch. He plays a lot of modern. He plays retro. He's got an amazing setup. He's got an amazing show. He's got a great community. Like everything he had in a stream is like what I wanted. It's like when I decided I was going to start streaming, I wanted a stream like that. Tiger Rider, another great one. And feel free, mods, if you want to shout out any of these streamers while I'm saying their names, you're welcome to. If you wish, you don't have to. Knackers, which I already have a special command for him. Because he's one of I look up to him a lot. In a lot of ways, he's like a peer. In a lot of ways, he's like a little brother. But in a lot of ways, too, he's a great source of knowledge for me with a lot of technical things. And he's just got a really down to earth. I've met him in person multiple times. He's one of my best friends. He's just a great dude. Great streamer. So I look up to him. Another one that doesn't stream anymore is his brother, Bad Robot. I used to model a lot of things after him when I first started streaming. I became friends with him, and he gave me a lot of assistance. Yo, Chubbs is here in Primitive Meat. Welcome in. It is many years. It is many years. How are you, my dude? Let me try and think of some more recent ones that have inspired me that I know. The Andy Social Network. He's somebody who has a very unique style of show. He's somebody I've looked up to a lot. Avenus, which I know some of you guys may know her. She's the one that kind of gave me I've said this. I was kind of on the fence back and forth about streaming without a cam, like an actual, like doing like I'm doing this now. One of the reasons I got away from it was because I have RBF. Unless I'm really focusing on it. And then there are times too, if I'm playing a game, it's easier if I'm just talking to chat. If I'm playing a game, it's a lot harder for me to focus on what my face looks like and whatnot. Here, I don't know if you know how to spell hers. But she is she doesn't stream with a cam at all. It's just her voice. And she's so entertaining and sarcastic and witty, and she's got a great community. And I definitely look up to her as a streamer too. I think she's great. and she's just a great human being. I mean, there's a lot, man. I mean, I could honestly say I could list another 50. But if I'm just immediate ones that come to mind, I would have to say those would probably immediately come to mind, you know? So, good question. Thank you, Paul. We got a question from Noel Hammer. Says, seems appropriate with Mrs. Jimbles. How do you find the time to have a full-time job, family, multiple pets, and stream several days a week? I got you. The answer to that question is I don't usually stream during the daytime because of my job. Even on the weekend, it's pretty rare for me to stream in the daytime, so that's where I get my other time in. And also to answer your question, I usually only sleep, unless it's the weekend, I only sleep 5 to 6 hours a night. Sometimes as little as 4. I don't sleep a lot. If you can't tell by these bags, I just don't fucking sleep a lot. But I can survive. Like, I know that's not the greatest thing. It's not the healthiest thing, but I was in the Army for 8 years. I've dealt with low sleep, and, you know I can catch up on sleep during the weekends, so I don't mind getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep during the week. I just deal with it. I'll be a little tired. I'll drink some coffee, and then there you go, you know? Yeah, see, that's just how I roll. That's how I roll. You know? I usually get at least between 5.5 to 6. Okay? I'm not a psychopath. There's a lot of people that have sleep schedule like that. Yeah, functioning on 4 hours of sleep is doable. Now, you don't want to have multiple days of 4 hours of sleep. But you do need, like, I could easily do 1 4 hour, 2, even 2 4 hours of sleep, you know? There are a lot of psychopaths. Cat naps also help. Like, I have no problem taking like a 20-minute cat nap. You know, what up, Frage? Yeah, weekends to the rescue. Exactly. A hot Twitch streamer. Woohoo. Should I put this in hot tubs? I don't have a hot tub. What up, Vans? Emo Fergie does it. What up, Rob? If I don't get enough sleep, the time I'm awake becomes useless. I don't sleep much. I've been working from home the last 2 years, so random cat naps. Exactly. If you're working from home, you can nap easier. You sleep with socks on? Oh my gosh.
Shame!
I don't know if I can call you my niece anymore, Ellie. Yeah, hot tub comes later. 6 minimum, 7 plus preferred. I'm a sleep machine. Yo, I love sleeping when I can. Like, I can sleep on the weekends. I'll sleep 9 or 10 hours. Because I can sleep in. A lot of times I don't have to get up early. Now, today was an exception. That's why I went to bed relatively early-ish last night. Because I had to get up. I took my son with my wife and some of his friends. He wanted to go for his big birthday gift. He's having a slumber party tonight. He wanted to go to Comic-Con. So we took him to a Comic-Con. And he got a bunch of autographs and everything else. It was great. Came back home. Had time to set up the stream, and yeah, his birthday's actually not for a couple more weeks. It's just Comic-Con just came this weekend, so we gave him early birthday present for his party. But he's got like another 2.5 weeks till his actual birthday. What con was that? Well, I don't want to dox myself, so I'll DM you later. I'll DM you. Yo, Kitsune, what up? Yo, welcome in. Well, good to have you. Sleep is a waste of life. I'll sleep correctly when I'm dead. It's not, I mean, sleep does a lot of functions. It's just, I'm at a point in my life where I know how much sleep I need to operate. And it works for me. It doesn't work for everyone. You know? Yeah, I don't know if that makes it worse or better either. You know? We may, Ben. We might somewhere down the road. Stripey's a sleep machine all hours of the day, anywhere in massive quantities. Blackhawk, maybe Stripey is a narcoleptic. If I don't get at least 7, it's a rough day. And it varies for everyone. Like, Vans, you're a younger guy. The younger you are, the more sleep you need. As you get older, you can get by with less sleep. You know? Yeah, 3 to 4, that's not good. You can't do that. Like, if you keep doing that, it really catches up to you. You know? Catches up to you. All right, next question from Big Ben 1701. He asks, what it's like to stick so many biddies up your anus? Well, Ben, all I can say is dickle.
Dickle.
That's how it feels. Let's see. What do we got? Next question. This one is coming from Enigmatic78, who asks, what is the most valuable thing you've learned while developing your stream community? That's a tough question because there's a lot of valuable things you learn along the way. It's hard to like break down just what's most valuable. I'll put it like this. I think one of the most valuable things I learned, and it took me a couple years, was to know that my worth wasn't necessarily tied around a number. When you stream on Twitch, excuse me. When you stream on Twitch, it is really easy to get caught up in the numbers game and measure your value or worth as a streamer by what your concurrent viewer average is, or, you know, let's say, here's something that like used to bother me. For example, when my early days of streaming, my first few years, I'd have a stream. I'd have like, by the way, it took me over a year to average like more than 10 viewers a stream. Just heads up on that. I think I've been streaming for maybe a year and a half, 2 years. I'll have a stream and I would have like, you know, 25 viewer average. Be like, man, that was a really good stream. And then the next stream, the next day, playing the same game at the same time, I would average 14 or 15. And it's like, it gets in your head, you know? No, it does. It gets in your head. It's one of those things that, like, it took me a while to just get over that and to stop checking stats so much. And those, I wish I had known that early on, you know? And you have to remember that there's so many factors that are outside your control as a streamer about fluctuations in numbers, and they're totally normal. But as you grow a community, if you look at like, you're looking at numbers, the way to look at them is this. Growth on Twitch generally doesn't happen like this. It happens like, it's like a wave pattern where it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. But overall, if you're tracking it, it's slowly moving, like it's moving up. If you're staying consistent and adding, you know, quality and value or worth to whatever it is that you stream, whether that's music or games or just chatting or a combination of things, you know? All about the churn, you know? Write out a giant penis on the graph. Exactly, you know? Like how people say, don't weigh yourself every day. Yeah, Pogo, you could be right. And Hellhound, Pogo, good to see you. You know, it's like I have a classroom poster I have because I'm a teacher. I teach history. And in my classroom, I have a picture and there's it's on the wall on the back. Hold on. Why did it unfocus? Focus, camera. Okay. It's on the back wall of my classroom, and it's a picture of a statue with a pigeon on it, and it's like covered in shit. And it says, some days you're the pigeon, some days you're the statue. And it's good to remember that because it's really true, you know? Some days you're the pigeon, and some days you're the statue. So, it is. What up, Abram? What up, Shaq Fu? Welcome in. Yo, Silent Storm, good to have you. Hi. Got people coming out of the woodwork for these AMAs. Good question, though. I mean, Enigmatics, I hope that helps. Just don't tie yourself to numbers. The best thing I can say is you're growing a stream. One of the best pieces of advice that was given to me early on was to focus on one aspect of your stream to improve on each month. Like maybe this month you're trying to improve your lighting, or maybe you're trying to improve your microphone, Or maybe you're trying to improve like your alerts, right? And get that down. Maybe you're trying to get better at not using crutch words in chats, like a bunch of ums and likes, and you know what I mean? Those are all things that you can do to improve your stream, and it will generate more viewership because you're getting better at the process of streaming. What up, Billy? Oh, thank you, man. It does feel like it's like, yeah. It honestly feels like a flash. When I started streaming also, I was streaming from an Xbox with a Kinect camera. So yeah. All right, next question. This one's from my niece, Ellie Games. She asks, is there anything you regret doing and or not doing during your streaming journey? That's a good question. You know, I would say I kind of regret joining stream teams that do stuff, and not because they're inherently bad, but maybe it's because of my personality, and I end up getting caught up with some of the stupid drama on stream teams with people saying and doing shit that, and it's both stream teams I've been in that were like active and not just the name of a team. There's always drama. And I don't like drama. I really don't. And sometimes the source of the drama or part of the drama, it's not like all their fault. Part of it is my own personality. So if like I see some shit that's like I don't like, I'm gonna call it out. Or if I make a joke that's like a normal joke, it's obviously a joke, and somebody tries to take my words, twist them out of context to make it seem like I'm doing something that I'm not, that bothers me. And so, and I'm not gonna say any names or even go into the teams, because the truth of the matter is, even while I didn't like that, I met some great people that I'm friends with that are great streamers that I'm still friends with from those streams. Like, for example, you guys know Katie Peters Plays. If you guys know Nega Onyx, who's big time streamer. Sam, big time streamer. I was on the stream team with them many years ago. And the team kind of collapsed, but we all kind of stayed friends, and we still are friends today. And then I was on a team last year that I was on a team for about not quite a year. That I left last year, and there's a ton of great people on that team, but there was a few that we just didn't get along, you know. And so it was honestly best for me to separate myself, because I didn't want to be the source of drama and shit. You know, at the end of the day, I guess I don't really regret it, but I will say if you're going to join a stream team, you really need to limit your expectations and also be aware that you're probably going to have some people on there that are you're just not going to vibe with. And in some particular cases, jealousy can be a factor, you know, that can be a factor too. That can drive some of those interactions. So, well, exactly. What I'm saying is I would never at this point in my streaming career, or whatever you want to call it, I would never join another stream team to be like on an active stream team, you know? Oh, really? Oh, wow. FaZe X Ricky. I could do that. Or instead of you just coming in to advertise this game, I could just fucking ban you out. I think I'll do that instead. Have fun playing your game. Anyway, I hope that answers your question, Ellie. I know I didn't really answer it. It was kind of a lot of the mistakes that I made. I wish I knew I knew more about audio before I got into that. because I made a lot of audio mistakes. Yeah. Early on. Yeah, bye, Ricky. I'm not just I'm saying, I'm not saying all stream teams are inherently bad. What I'm saying is, for me and the type of person that I am, and as well as other streamers, not all, it just doesn't work well. My personality doesn't mesh with everyone. And I can be a little bit, what's the word? Outspoken if I don't agree with something. And that can cause drama. And so, you know, I think you just have to understand that there's going to be that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Jealous of your mustache? I got to shave it off. And it sucks, but at the same time, it's for charity, so I'm not totally upset. But I am a little sad. I'll be able to grow back in a few weeks. It'll take me a few weeks. What up, Self-Destruct? If I've missed you in chat, what up, Doomwave? I'm doing an AMA and I'm trying to answer questions. So if I missed you and you got something important, if you have a question to ask, you can type in !Q followed by a space and whatever your question is. Unless you're Nullhammer who just types in !Q with nothing, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, do I gotta explain everything? What's your question? Okay. Jesus Christ, Nullhammer. I'm about to time your ass out, bitch. All right. Next question. This one is from FNA TV, who asks, what are your thoughts of chat on screen during gameplay? So that's a really good question, because I've what's the word? Tinkered. I was about to say tankard. I've tinkered with various overlays and setups over the years. And I've kind of come to what I do now is, if it is a 14:9, is that what it is? The widescreen format game, I just like the full screen that, because that's what most people have for their screen display, and I won't have chat on it. If it's not a widescreen game, if it's a retro game where it's 4:3, I'll usually have chat on there, because it goes along with like the retro stream. One thing I used to, when I first started streaming, I had a full screen overlay that had a chat. When I was playing widescreen games, it was like 3/4 of the screen, and then I had stuff underneath, and then chat on the side, and then a little teeny square webcam box. It's really more a matter of preference. And at first I thought that's what people wanted, and that was what a lot of Twitch streams were like. But as me, a viewer on Twitch, and also as somebody who has been streaming a while, it got to the point where I realized I didn't really want a bunch of extra stuff on the screen while streaming that you didn't necessarily need, you know? I like the little emote stuff that floats around. I've turned it off on occasion when people get too spammy with it, but I don't usually see that as a problem. I think it's kind of fun if you splash an emote and then it pops up. That's kind of cool. One thing I would recommend, if you're gonna have chat on screen, program your browser source to not include whatever your bots say. You can remove bot speak, and basically anyone who types ! And that, like a command, it won't show up in your thing right over here. You don't want it to show up there, because you're using chat for like a catalog of while you're talking and seeing what people said, right? If you're YouTubing or something like that later. So take the bots out of your on-screen overlay. You don't need bot messages in your on-screen overlay, if that makes sense. Did that answer your questions, FNA? Your question, I should say. Okay. Next question. This one is from Vexatious 1029. When are you gonna play Bloodborne? Kick you. I'll probably play it at some point. Like I said, I think the last time, I tell you what, if we go back, I'll keep the promise. I know I changed it from like a thing, but I'm trying to like incentivize and give back to y'all by doing these merch giveaways now after like every 100 new subs. And we just did one last night for Directrix, who lucked out and won something last weekend too. So, but yeah. Yeah, to answer your question, if we ever go over 800 subs, which is the reason I have that is I've never been over that point. I've been over 700, but if we unlock a new emote slot by going over 800, then there you go. We'll play Bloodborne again at some point. That answers. Whiskey asks, it's not even an accurate question, but I'll read it so you guys can see this bullshit. It says, why is Super Mario Sunshine the greatest 3D platformer of all time? Dude, you're insane if you think that game is better than Mario Galaxy. You're obviously on some kind of drug. Whatever it is, maybe send me some. Maybe I'll like the game better. Jesus Christ. Let's see. The next question from Chubsley. Have you ever tried a beard? I want to see that, you handsome devil. True story, I have. Unfortunately, Chubsley, also known as Chubs, it gets real patchy in here. So, I can't, it gets patchy. And it doesn't look very good. I could grow a mustache pretty well. I could even do a little goatee, but here on the sides, it just doesn't fill in. And I had to make a decision. And so my decision was one day to get bold and do mustache, and it kind of just stuck. It's only been the last couple of years that I've worn a mustache. I didn't used to. I think it was like fall of 2019 when I started wearing a mustache. So, yeah. Real men wear mustaches. Yes. You rock the stash, can't knock it. I was curious. No, it's a good question. If I could grow a beard, I would grow a beard, but I can't. Oxkin, good to see you. Okay, this next question comes from Grunt Guru, who asks, how did the transition of using an avatar affect your channel and the interest of your viewers? So that's a really good question. I made the switch to using an avatar in January of 2020. It's like the end of January 2020. And my viewership at that point, for a couple months, it really kind of remained the same. And then COVID happened, and everybody was on lockdown. And then my viewership started to go up. And then I was on a stream team at that point. It was like a perfect timing sort of deal. So I had a lot of new people that were coming into my channel. And so the stream team that I was in, they helped boost my viewership and brought a lot of new people in, right? And then, which, I'm grateful for. And then Battletoads happened months after that, right? And it just kind of kept building. It was like a weird sort of perfect storm. And it was also like VTubing on Twitch now is very common. When I started doing it a couple years ago, it was not very common. I wasn't the first VTuber on Twitch, but I certainly am a little more unique, I guess, than the average VTuber. I'm not hating on any of them at all. But how many VTubers do you see out there that are like, not all of them, but there's a lot that are like generic anime waifu type girl, right? And then you've got the ones that are amazing. Like if you look at like Code Miko, she's got an amazing VTuber, has an amazing setup. Like mine is very, very simple, you know? And I also didn't want to, and hang on, I see what you just said. Yo, hi, Willow. One of the things I wanted in the design of an avatar was I wanted something that was going to be still somewhat minimalistic and not take up a whole lot of the screen either. And so it made sense to go with the beer. And there's more to the story than picking the beer, but I know some of y'all know that. Yo, Juker's here. What up, playa? You know a V2 beer. My favorite is a professional and good at the games they play. And I don't like ones that are on there just trying to be pretty and bitching, complain. I mean, nobody wants to hang out in a stream where you're just bitching all the time. That's annoying. I make the mistake sometimes of not letting things go on stream and just getting angry about something someone says in chat and reacting to it, when there are sometimes I just gotta let it go and just move on. It's hard for me to do that sometimes, you know? So I love how the pint plays into the deadpan humor. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this design for this beer went through multiple iterations. It wasn't just a one and done, but it made sense within the context of the channel. Exactly, Paul. And thank you, Ox. Yeah, I wanted to also make something that didn't seem threatening, if that makes sense. Cartoonish, something that would appeal to no matter what your gender or orientation was. And I think it worked. I think it actually really worked. So it's something that unique that I don't think you can find in many other places on Twitch. There's some that do some similar things to what I do, that are out there, and they have good content. But I would say this is the content that we do here now is pretty unique, and that's by design, because it's taken me years to figure out the direction I wanted to go. You know, yeah, massive anger. Yeah, I don't like the rage streamers either, Wraith. Yeah. Do you have the other beer ones we can see? I do not, because they're models that I would have to bring into the animator. I mean, I might have an old file somewhere, but I don't want to go digging for it now. I'll have to look for it. I might have it, but I'll have to look. I honestly have no idea where it would be right now, because I've moved computers and files since I moved hard drives since I got that. So but good question, yo Grunt. I hope that answered your question. All right, Ben asks, I'm looking forward to getting over it. When is it happening? I know it's been over a year. I'm supposed to do getting over it, but I will do it. It's gonna happen in 2022. I can promise you that. Okay, it will happen this year. I can't say when, but I will say it will happen. Oh, you're welcome. What up, Dr. B? What up, Dr. B? Yo, Willow Lily, I have a queue. If you have a specific question, or I assume even what the worst game I've ever streamed, just type !Q, type your question out, and I'm just popping them off. This one from Wraith657 says, why are you so awesome, bro? It's because I feed off of chats. Got an awesome chat. Perfect Spade, what up? Faint Signal, what up? Okay, next question. This is from Geeks versus Geeks, who asks, where do you get the inspiration for your scenes? This is another good question. So, as you guys know, if you've been around a while, I've got like a huge, my OBS, I don't even have them all numbered, because I used to number them all. And then once I passed like 30 something, I was like, why am I doing this? So I stopped numbering them. And I stopped, and there's kind of two ways I get inspiration. One is somebody reaches out to me, like viewers, my mods, and gives me a good idea or it's like jumping off point. The other way, which happens the least of times, the least way I found out, is random inspiration. There's been a few of mine that have just been randomly inspired. Like I thought of something and was like, oh, this is a great idea. I should put this together. Most of my inspiration for streams was what I used to call my forced creativity time. So when I made the transition from being a webcam streamer to an avatar streamer, I would sit down on Saturdays and spend 2, 3, 4 hours in front of my computer just brainstorming, putting different things together. Some of them worked out and you've seen them. Some of them didn't work out and I canned them. So yeah. By the way, it will only let you have one question in the queue at a time, Jimmy. That's why it didn't register. So once I clear your whatever question you had before, you can add another one to the queue. What the hell was that? Thanks a lot, Windows. Sack of shit. Anyway, geeks. That's where I get my inspiration for, like I said, sometimes it's from y'all. There's been a few scenes that you guys have literally told me what I should put in a scene. Sometimes it's me sitting down and just trying to see what works, and then occasionally just some random inspiration will hit me and I'll go with that. So you're welcome. Okay, Jimmy, MC Kids Deathless win? Never. Next question. What are your minimum and recommended system requirements? I don't understand that, Leo. Do you mean for streaming? Or are you trying to make a joke like I'm a video game? I'm not sure I understand the question. Yeah, the short answer, never. Deathless, have you watched the stream, Jimmy? Mm-hmm. Mize? I mean, I have specs, although I might need to update them. Wait, is it that or is it PC? No, it's setup. There you go. Let me see if I need to adjust this. I've added any new equipment. I got a Ryzen. There's my GT. Yep, I got that. I got that. Yep. I got that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, you know what? I need to change this. One Pioneer 43 inch Ultra HD 4K TV. Wait. Got this, and Xbox Series X. You see how long it's been since I've updated, right? Got the Stream Deck, these, macro board, cold beer. Yep. That's my setup. The mixer, well, it's this right here, the Go XLR. Right there. It's really great for streamers. It's a fantastic device. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, there's no way I would play any game deathless. There's no fucking way. We need a new... I have a fridge. There is actually a fridge right down there. Right next... It's right below this... You can't... It's just out of frame. But it's right below the filing cabinet I have right here. Oh, a CPU cooler? Well, my stock cooler is fine. The reality is, for what I use this... Like, I use my capture card a lot. And I don't do anything crazy like overclocking and shit like that. I've figured out the best way for me to like run a stream to make it good. Oh, it's Ken! Me hermano.
RP Ghosto, RP Ghosto, RP Ghosto.
Yo, nice moves. Thank you. Me hermano Kaz popping in. Yo, nice moves. Thank you for the resub. You're awesome. Let's see here. Yes. Thank you, Ember. Welcome in. We're doing a special AMA today, Rabble Rouser. Type !AMA if you want to know more. Should I put a little thing on my screen that says that? Hang on a second. Let me do this. Hold on. Text. Add existing. It would be this. All right, I'll just make it smaller. There you go. Now that'll at least help. Little some streamer hacks, right? Little streamer hack. All right. Whew. Yeah, maybe some AMR later. Maybe some more ASMR. All right, let's get to the next question. You guys are freaking filling up my queue. All right, here we go. Anyway, Leo, that's what I got. It's more than enough power for everything I need for my stream right now. Eventually, maybe in another year or so, I may be looking to upgrade, but I upgrading my video card to a 3070. I got lucky and was able to find one last February. That was huge for me because I went from a 1080 to a 3070. So that is going to keep the life on this PC for a little bit longer. And really having that RTX chip helped a lot, you know? So there you go. Next question. Do you have comfort games you love going back to or just prefer new stuff to mix it up and keep things from getting boring? That's another good... Oh, Blackhawks, good question. I do have some comfort games that I always come back to. FTL, we usually play that a couple times a year. I would say... Street Fighter 2 is a comfort game I play frequently. I like it too because I can play that in the retro community, which I like to stream in retro. What's another comfort game? Domina, we've played that a lot, and I know chat really likes the chat interactions on that. I try not to do it too much though because people can use bits to play, and I don't want it to become like an all the time sort of deal, you know? What are some other comfort games that I play? There's not a whole lot. There's some, but I wouldn't say I've got a ton. Battletoads is not a comfort game. No. Madden, yeah. Madden is. I don't stream a lot of Madden because most people don't like to watch it, you know, especially when it's not football season. So I generally don't stream that game. Oh, No Man's Sky is a great comfort game for me. I love that game. We may actually play some of it today since we got 12 hours. I got to fill some time. So we might do some No Man's Sky. We'll see. I'll put a couple options up in chat and let y'all pick, okay? Mega Man? I mean, Mega Man 3 would be a comfort game for me. Bubsy? No. Dark Souls is not a comfort game. It's fun, but it's not a comfort game for me. But Blackhawk, there you go. There's my answers. I hope that answer your question. Next question is from SonoChamp. Is Space Burger truly dead? I missed that crazy bastard. Did you know there's another streamer? You know, to me, he's dead only because why would I use Space Burger when I could be Jimbles the Beer? But there is another streamer on Twitch. What's his name? Chazburger. Mr. Chazburger. But what's his Twitch? Is it Chazburger, I think, is his Twitch name. Mr. Chazburger. And he uses that. It's one of those standard things that comes with the software, the burger. And it's cool. Like, it's very well done. It's a neat one, but I wanted to have something that's unique to me. So, to answer your question, yes, he's probably dead. But there are other places on Twitch that you can find him that are still out there. Critically Lit. Thank you. What was I saying? Chazburger. Chazburger is literally his own design burger, which is kind of rough. He's another VTuber. He's new to Twitch. That's what I was thinking of. Critically Lit's the one that uses that hamburger avatar. Thank you, Paul. And he's a cool dude. No, I think, you know, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with using one of the default avatars. I just wanted something that was customized to me and the community, you know? Which he may want to do at some point, or he may stay with a burger, you know? Who knows? Okay, so here's the next question. Most memorable streaming moment from the Juker. Ooh. Yo, we got a raid from Sinistar77. Welcome, Raiders. You came here just in time. We're doing a special stream, a nice little AMA. We've been answering questions. I am later, for those that missed parts of it, I'm going to chop all this up later and put it on YouTube, splice it together. So that way, if you wanted to access it at any given point, you can. But if you have any streaming specific questions, or you just want to know a little bit more about what's behind the beer, feel free to ask. Welcome in. Sinstress, good to have you. Sinistar, welcome in. What up, Sakono? Yes. Most memorable streaming moment. Okay, well, making partner was up there. But you know what? I have to say, one of my most memorable streaming moments, if I'm being honest here, I have a clip of it. You guys want to see it? Also, one other thing you guys could totes my goats help me with, if you wouldn't mind, for those of you just joining, I've got a Twitter. I made a tweet. I even made a special video in that. So if you want to, if you go interact with that, I would be forever grateful. And for those of you that already did, ooh woo to you. Thank you. Let me find it. I think it's under, here we go. Here we go. 1 second. Here we go. Yo, Tanguito, I got all right, here we go. This is my most memorable, one of my most memorable streaming moments was when I beat Battletoads. And actually making it to the end here on this shit. So let me get you to where I'm actually fighting the boss. And I've never done this. I never did it when I was a kid. Here we go. So it was kind of a pretty big deal for me. Okay. Is that 8? I don't know. I don't even know how many hits we're at. Two! This is for Juker asking about one of my most memorable moments on stream. I'm so nervous. Nice. Come on, baby. No! I got greedy. She was facing me. No! Oh, the screams of terror. You need like 21 hits. Dude! Okay. Yo, Hellhound, you bring up a good point. Yeah, a lot of the Dark Queen sprite is kind of lame. It is kind of lame. I was trying. Okay. Come on. Yeah, but she's kind of bad, though. GKL, you're not wrong. Yeah! There it is. Get out of my face! Get out of my face! I know you don't stay in the middle because she'll try and fuck you. One last time. Wait. Anyway, you get the idea. That was... that is easy. I will always remember beating Battletoads for the first time and doing it live on stream from the beginning. I didn't use a single warp. I only had my default. I was on my last continue there. So I will always remember that. That was a special moment. You know, no save states, just pure raw. And I have the entire playthrough of that on there. Oh, here's a change. Thank you for the 200 bits. Yeah, I actually upped the cost for text-to-speech recently. I know somebody recently just asked about some of that, but I had to, not because I don't like text-to-speech, but it just got to the point where it was, people were constantly using text-to-speech, and it was just throwing the stream off the rails. Get scammed. Well, thank you, Paul. Get scammed. You could still do it. Just cost a bit. I had planned on by this stream having some new alerts ready, but I didn't get back and home from Comic-Con today in time to get that going. But that is something I am going to be doing soon. There'll be some. I'm going to have like Andy's Social Network has. I'll have like a bit menu where you guys can get your like your specialized alerts. Like I only have a couple specialized alerts. Like 69 bits is one of them. 666 is another. And other than that, I don't really have many. So I'm gonna drop some specialized alerts for y'all, so you don't feel as scammed since you've lost the text to speech. And I will actually, since this kind of is good, I'll answer Geeks' question. I'm gonna let you skip the line here, Geeks. With the growth you've had, do you find it harder to do the same things and/or control your stream and chat? So, since I'm already kind of answering that question, yes. As you grow on Twitch, you're gonna have to scale and change what you have. Because if you don't, it just turns into a big mess. And by that, I mean your stream perhaps becomes so chaotic with shit going on everywhere, all these sound effects that are going on. Nobody wants to hear that, right? So you have to figure out a way to scale it. You're a bitch. You're a
666, you say? Jimbal's cringe.
Thank you, Ben. The 666 screen bits. Okay. But yeah, like Sano.
Go get my damn beer, you friggin' morons!
Like this, like right? Like you can get a special sound effect if you spend enough time in the channel. But even then, you could only that individual person can use it, and at most they can use it as once an hour.
Game over, man. It's game over.
See? That's all they can do. But you get the idea. You got to find ways to scale stuff. And as you grow, as your audience grows and chat becomes more interactive,
I fart in your general direction.
you have to find ways to scale your stream. So one way I found to scale my stream where I can still give a little bit of customization back to the viewers is like right now, like the custom sound effects, right? Where they can't, they can only use it once every hour, But yes, you guys just proved the point. That's why I don't have a lot of those. Even those may go away eventually. I may end up having to take those away if it gets like where 10 people with sound effects just go blah, 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 blah. That's how Twitch chat works. You just have to figure out what works and what doesn't and find that happy medium where you can give people ways to interact. And if you have to and one thing I've learned, and I learned this from Bad Robot, one thing that is sometimes very difficult to do as a streamer is to give chat something and then to take it away. They don't like that. And they're going to bitch. And sometimes some people are just going to leave the community. Like I had people that when I made a switch from being a webcam streamer to not, they just stopped showing up. And I expected that, because some people, they just want to see a webcam. I think I think I'm starting to see more and more streamers not use a webcam than ever before now, though. So I think maybe the meta on that is changing a bit, you know? Yeah, text-to-speech responsibility. Ben, I have no idea. That's on you, bud. It's not my job to come up with your shit. All I gotta do is put it in the bot. Cater to my needs, streamer. Exactly. And, you know, I get it. Like, and I want to interact with as many of you as I can, but there are some people you can tell in Twitch chat that just, like, all they're about is just, like, look at me.
Hey, it's Safi Lane.
Look at me, streamer, look at me. Are they, like, at you in every fucking message? I'm like, dude, you don't need to at me. If it's seriously important and maybe I missed it, then yeah. When Safi won't come in. You know? What up, Riff? Threw it in Discord? Ooh. All right, let's take a look. What'd you get? Oh, shit. Look at this, dudes. Hold on. Why is this not opening? There it is. Okay. Go check it. Old Riff got that merch. Riff in a shirt, baby. Looking fly. Looking fresh. Yo, what the fuck? Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. You crazy son of a bitch. Yo, fucking get called out. Hallmark. Uh-huh. There's Florida for you, Hellhound. There's Florida. Looks good, though. Looks good. Yeah, blame it on your wife. Sure, Riff. Yeah. Ugh. Okay. Anyway, thank you for sharing. It looks good. All right, where was I at? Oh, okay, here we go. Juker, we got the memorable streaming moment battle code. What is the worst game you've ever played? This is from Willow Lily. Nose is itchy. Worst. Or like worst game I've ever streamed? I can't even count how many shitty retro games I've played. Maybe worst game I didn't stream and quit in like 5 minutes. Let me think. I'm trying to think of a game I just didn't like. You know what game I don't like? Well, part of it's because of shooters, but Overwatch. I don't like that game at all. It's too much shit going on. It's too fast. And I always fucking die a lot. So fuck that game. I don't like Overwatch. I'm not going to use a retro game because they're on a different standard. So Overwatch is my personal game. I just don't like it. I know some people... Oversalt is a better name. Yeah. I'm not going to say... I'm going to pick a modern title because there's plenty of shitty retro games. But I'll say the worst modern title that I just don't like. But I don't really play shooters, so... That's partly my problem, you know? Anyway. Hope that answers your question. So Ben asked, what is the coolest thing in your Stream Shack? So... Good question. You guys want to see the piece of art I just got today? Hang on. I just hung it up. Hang on. So this was at Comic-Con. There was an artist that was selling like some pretty cool like colored keyboards, and it had a little A-wing. They had different ones. Like one had a TIE fighter, one had an X-wing. But I love A-wings, and this one was like a cool model with a blue, and I thought it looked really good. So I was like, man, this would be the perfect thing to put on the wall. So I bought it. It was like 50 something bucks. The artist signed the back of it. He's got like a really big Instagram. I don't have Instagram. He was like, hey, you should follow my art page on Instagram so you can, if you ever want to buy any other pieces. I was like, dude, I don't have Instagram. He's like, oh, that's okay. You have Facebook? I was like, nah, dude. And he was like, oh, okay then. I'm like, sorry, man. I don't have either of those platforms. Sorry. All right. Yeah, super fast and nimble. Hang on, let's hang this back up. Here's another. This was a custom art piece that was made by Pleasurable Pain, one of my mods, and she mailed it to me. And so it had been sitting in my bedroom, but I went ahead and I put it on my wall. But she made that for me, and it goes back there, so that's pretty cool. This is also a cool piece of art. It's Han Solo in carbonite, but he's the VHS tape. So if you look closely, he's encased in a VHS tape. So I thought that was kind of cool too. I have a bunch of cool trinkets. Some of the I need to get out of storage. My brother sent me a lot of cool stuff. Recently sent me this. I don't know if you guys ever saw the little things to put the Colt quarters in for like the machines that did all that. But got the Zoltar, which was pretty cool. The fortune telling machine. It's just some crappy VHS. Nothing. I don't think there was anything on it. So, I had one of those in Gatlinburg when I was a kid. Yeah. Those were... Yeah, yes. The movie Big. Yes, it is in the movie Big. Yes. Zoltar lives. Okay, 2 more little trinkets I'll show you, and then we'll stop playing fucking show and tell. This rosary candle, if you look closely, it's Han Solo. And then, of course, we have...
It's Mac tonight, oh yeah.
That's from my brother. So yeah, I got a lot of trinkets in here, and I got more stuff to put up. I got some lights to put over here. I just haven't had time to mess with it, you know? Yeah. Slano. What up, Wood J Finley? Yeah, we're doing a special AMA today. Want to know more? Type !AMA. 1 sec. Anyway, you guys get the idea. I got some cool stuff. Next question. We have, and thank you for the question, Ben. Next question is from Dr. Big 79, who asks, will we see more streams with your son or other collabs this year? Yeah, you'll see more Frankie. It's hard to stream with him unless it's the weekend, and usually on the weekend he wants to be playing Roblox and shit with his buddies when I'm streaming. So, but yes, you'll see some more of him. I'm gonna try and get back on to where we're streaming together once every other week in the summertime when we can. But yeah. Yes. Let's see here. Good question. Next question from That Family Games, who asks, What is your favorite bourbon if cost were no issue? I think I really like the Johnny Walker Blue Label's really good. And the Johnny Walker Green Label's really good too. Those, I really like those. I like those a lot. Good question. But right now, I just got the, I got some Bullet Rye whiskey back there. So, the next question from Jimmy07, who asks, Elden Ring when? This summer. I want to try and make it through some other games first. But yes, I'm planning on playing Elden Ring. I'm going to try and finish Sekiro, but no promises. I'm going to try. We got to get back into that. I still have Dark Souls 3 DLC, which honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to make it through that because that shit's hard as fuck. Like super hard, you know? Johnny Walker's Scotch whiskey, not bourbon whiskey. You know what? You're right. But whatever. I guess it's expensive. The blue and green blended whiskey is expensive. I prefer my favorite whiskey, period. I really like the Yellow Spot, the single pot still Irish whiskey is really good. Redbreast is really good. And I know a lot of people love that freaking Elden Ring, but it's, yeah. Well, Blanton's good. I was only asked to say one. Fuck. Did you miss your question? No, Kaz, you're still, you got like, there's like 1, 2, 3 questions in front of you. And by the way, you guys can only have one, it'll only keep one question in the queue at the time for you. So if you're trying to put multiple in and it doesn't say that it logged it, it didn't log it. But Jimbles is about to have to do a pee-pee dance, so give me a minute. I'm gonna use the banyo, the little beers room, and I will be back in a few momentos. I promise. We'll be back for some more AM. Hey, BRB. Ah.
Let's all go to the kitchen. Let's all go to the kitchen. Let's all go to the kitchen to get ourselves a drink.
How's that candy beat?
Beer is really neat. The sparkling feels just handy. The frothy head is like candy. So let's all go to the kitchen to get ourselves tipsy.
Box wine is such a treat.
Cheese it would be sweet. This game is making me salty. Think I need something malty. So let's all go to the kitchen to get ourselves toasty. Let's all go to the kitchen to get ourselves champagne. Yeah.
Next, on A Different World, the Battle of the Sexes heats up at Hillman.
This book says I'm one of the few men who can make a Hillman woman happy.
He's a virgin.
Will the battle become a war?
If you paid attention long enough to find out what our needs were, then maybe we wouldn't seem so dull.
Your needs are in the kitchen and in the laundry room.
A Different World, tonight at 6 on Channel 46.
Things aren't going your way. Doesn't seem to be your day.
I just can't win.
Come on, little guy, it's time to shine. Come to Chuck E. Cheese, leave it all behind. Knock 'em down, get 'em in. Yeah, you're gonna win.
I win.
Chuck E. Cheese,
I feel like a new man.
where a kid can be a kid.
The Shredder comes out with a furious attack. Michelangelo fires back with a left and a right, and you're in control. Now he's really kicking some shell. Oh, what a shot!
How fun!
Dueling Dudes, a game of skill and action, part of the Team Turtle collection.
Hey, kids, poppin' pins bowling isn't just for ninjas.
Oh, I know it. Ha, beat that.
Dude, you really got your shell against the wall.
Right. Look at that action.
Poppin' pins bowling, part of the Team Turtle collection.
Oh my lord, oh my lord, Kevin Skinner, mom can't hold. heart. Try to break in and do heaven's heart. See the end of his day. Over and over again.
Home Alone, the Christmas gift of the year. $24.98 or $5 less with Pepsi rebate. Rated PG.
Isn't Star Stepper great? Just look at her awesome mane. It's so fun to brush. See, I can braid it too. Barbie and I think Star Stepper's the prettiest horse ever. Don't be so jealous. Each sold separately.
Hey, where's Barbie going in her hot red Ferrari? To a beach club?
No.
A fancy dress shop?
Maybe later. Today she's going for pizza.
Ooh, pizza.
Pepperoni.
You put car together. Dolls each sold separately.
Red Ferrari. Go Barbie.
Dino! He's outrageous, it's true, because his Dino Pebble cereal has marshmallows for you! Marshmallow Dino's purple, orange, green, red, vanilla-flavored cereal. Go, Fred!
Marshmallow Dino-licious! Dino!
Now for my favorite food, Marshmallow Dino-licious.
Dino!
Later, dudes.
Punk's Dino Pebble cereal, part of this nutritious breakfast. Dino!
Two of a kind, the twins are two of a kind. The twins, together they giggle. As long as they're together, they're feeling just fine. But if they're separated, they're doing things the same. Their giggling turns to crying, and that's a crying shame. The twins laugh when together, cry when apart or without pacifier, and love doing things the same. The twins, batteries not included, from Irwin.
Listen, it's talking. You quack me up. Waddle now. There's a talking donkey, running talking murder. Let's splash.
Going back.
I've murder.
What I miss?
Quack. Excuse.
Besides a few questions. Okay. We are back, as promised. Thank you guys for your patience. Get back to the AMA. Get back to your questions. Let's see. Hold on a second. Also, thank you guys for all the love on the Twitter post. A lot of retweets, a lot of likes, a lot of interactions. You just got here and you have a Twitter and you want to help spread the love and get some more people here. There you go. What up, Vervain? And if you want to ask a question, I'm trying to do it in order. So just type !Q with a space, add it in. You can only have one question in the queue at a time to keep it fair. So think hard, long and hard before you do anything. Okay. All right. Next question. This is from the Ox King. Ox, are you still here? His question is, did you make your own VTube avatar and scenes? Great question. The answer is no. Well, yes and no. The VTuber I did not make. I gave suggestions to the artist to make it. And they made a few changes to it based off of what suggestions I had. But I don't make those. Some of my scenes have been created by computer graphics artists like I've had Bishop GP, who's made a couple of mine. But like, for example, like a lot of my scenes, like a lot of the custom scenes, like whether it's Bob Ross or the play-by-play, all that shit I make. The meme scenes, I should say. But like, for example, this scene, the cantina, like this is all computer generated. I outsourced this because I'm not capable of doing anything like that. I just had a vision for kind of what I wanted when I updated from what was our old bar scene, which is, hang on. So like this is the old, what the old bar looked like. It was just a static, you sit there at the bar, right? Back in the old days. But I had to get people to help me with that stuff. And these are multiple assets in this bar that I'm using, right? But to answer your question, no, I'm I'm not really capable of doing the computer graphics stuff, but I can do like I said, the meme scenes, you know? Like merch, although I don't have my face rig, so it's just gonna be black. But like all this, I make all this shit. So there you go. I'm not capable of doing anything beyond like making like meme scenes. I don't have that kind of expertise when it comes to creating shit. So I outsource my emotes. I outsource all that stuff because I'm no artist when it comes to that. Mm-hmm. He's still there. He's still in the old bar. See? There he is. Good old Salacious Crumb. I used to change that. See, that's the way I made this bar scene look different, is I would change the stuff that was in this scene, like, seasonally. Like, I had holiday decorations around the holidays and shit up during, like, October. I would change that picture out. I had other stuff to make it a little more interactive, but I definitely like this. Not this. This. Better. I just think it fits, you know? With the hollow and everything else. Anyway. All right. Next question is from my niece, Ellie, who asks, what gave you motivation to keep streaming? As opposed to just streaming and taking a while to grow. I'm not sure how to answer that question, Ellie. What do you, motivation just in general to stream? I like streaming. I think it's fun. I enjoy interacting with chat. I'm not sure I understand to keep streaming. Keep from when? Like I need more context to answer that question. If you're still listening to me right now, I'll give you a second to respond. I'll answer this question while you're typing, perhaps. This one came from Captain Rabble-Rouser. What do you recommend from someone getting back into streaming that can only stream via PS4? Well, my advice is to you, Rabble-Rouser, would be anyone else, stream with what you got. Obviously, you know, streaming, it's so difficult to pull in any sort of income from Twitch. It takes a lot of dedication and time for most people to grow it like you would a business. And that transition doesn't usually occur anywhere in the early part of a streaming career. So my suggestion to you would be stream with what you got and focus on being the most entertaining and whatever it is that you vibe with. Play the games that you want to play. Learn how to, you know, because streaming's like a skill, right? You get better. The more you stream, the better you get at, you know, doing things like being able to address multiple people at once and not using a bunch of crutch words while you stream and being able to actually play a game and hold a conversation with multiple people at the same time. It takes practice. You know, it takes practice. So those are all things you can do with just a console, and that's okay. Like I said, I started streaming from an OG Xbox One and Kinect, and I did that for a few months before I was like, I really like this, and I went and bought the parts to build my first computer, which I'd never built before. So, all right, Ellie didn't respond, so I'll skip and come back. What was your favorite game you played with me as a kid? And be honest. Okay, so this is from my brother Kaz Ghost. So it's a good question. Honestly, I would have to say I like playing Star Fox with you because that was fun, and it would sometimes get annoying when you would do the voices of the characters and I'd tell you to shut up, but that was usually a pretty good time. So I'd put Star Fox high up on that list. Or Ninja Turtles was also a lot of fun. We played Ninja Turtles a lot together. We played Turtles in Time a lot. No, this is for Super NES, Legion. Super NES. I should have specified. Star Fox for Super NES. Yeah, what up, Mr. M? Yeah, today's the AMA day, man. We are AMAing. We're going down. Already answered a bunch. We got a whole bunch more. So, welcome in. Yo, what up, Miyako? Welcome. Oh, good to have you here. All right, next question from chat. This one is coming from Whiskeyed. And Whiskeyed says, when it comes to more borderline retro games, early 2000s, have you found that you have more success in the retro category or... Oh, I got cut off. Shit. Hang on, let me see if I can find what you said. Where's Whiskey's chat log? Here he is. If your question is long enough, it'll get cut off in my bot. Don't worry about it. I can look up the chat logs. Here we go. Have you found that you have more success in the retro category or under the individual games? I like looking at stats of those, but still curious as far as experience goes. So if it's borderline retro, I still put it in the retro category. I generally don't use the specific game title for those types of games because that's just kind of the way I see it. Oh, you're good, Whiskey. I found it on the chat log. I couldn't say if I've had more success because I don't ever usually stream in the more specific category. I more or less always, I pretty much always stream in the retro category if it's retro or even retro-like. You know, a lot of times I'll stream in retro also. You know? Like, for example, if I'm playing The Messenger, it'll be obvious to everyone I'm playing The Messenger, but I might just stream it in the retro category because The Messenger's kind of a dead category. And it's like a retro-like game. You know what I mean? So it really kind of comes down to what your belief is. And I don't think there's anything misleading about that because it's not like you're trying to hide from what game you're playing. It just comes down to discoverability, which is already kind of shitty. Like, in order to get discovered in a category, a lot of people that are going to watch a category might only look at like maybe the first 10 to 20 streams. So if you're not one of those first 10 to 20 on the top of a category, it could be more difficult. So if I had a smaller audience, maybe I would be looking to be in a smaller category, if that makes sense. Like if I, you know, it really is just trying to figure out the system. But here's the thing. If you're playing a game that's on the edge and the category has 0 people streaming in it, I don't know if I want to stream in that category. And it's just going to make discoverability hard, you know? So, yeah, and every now and then you meet cool people based off it, but yeah. Yes, Mr. M, you're not wrong. All about gaming the system, you know? I mean, people repurposing the category for a game called retro to be a catch-all for old games was already kind of using it differently from intended. So I don't know if people can be that mad. Yeah, honestly, I don't get a lot of people that ever say stuff to me because most of what I do on Retro 2 is through emulation. Through either RetroArch or emulation on one of my consoles. And that's fine. And the truth of the matter is, I used to have a huge retro collection with tons of consoles and games. It all got stolen. That was years ago. So I had no desire to try and recollect all my shit that disappeared. I was like, well, I'll just have the knickknacks of little things that I want, and the rest I'll just emulate, you know? So, and there you go. Whiskey, I hope that answers your question. I answered that question from Geeks earlier about growth. Forgot to delete it. Sorry, Geeks, if you're waiting on another question. All right, next question is from Abram. Which game of all those you played would you say was your biggest accomplishment? Battletoads. Battletoads. Beating Battletoads, I don't know if I'll ever have a feeling like that ever again. And I know there was a lot of you that were here when I beat it, which was cool. Yeah, Riff, it was actually when I was in the army. This was way back in 2005. I was leaving Germany to go to the States, and then I deployed to Iraq. So I didn't see this stuff for like well over a year. And from the time I packed it up and left Germany until the time I finally got it after my deployment to Iraq, there was boxes of shit that was just missing. Almost all my consoles, nearly all my games, boxes, Nintendo powers, you name it. My nose is so itchy. Yeah, Battletoads is a great game because you call it the Battletoads Challenge, especially if you've never played it to completion. It is a notoriously difficult game, not impossible to beat by any stretch, but it requires a lot of memorization. And there's kind of almost like a rite of passage for retro streamers to beat that game. And it was a fun experience for me. It took me like 14 or 15 streams, I want to say, to beat it. So yeah. Just got itchy nose. Oh, that sucks, Finley. It's not Booga Sugar. I'm not Chad. All right, next question. This one's from Sano. Says, give what you think is your most unpopular gaming opinion. Okay, I'll say it. I think I enjoy playing on consoles more than PC. Probably an unpopular opinion. It's just my opinion, but I prefer gaming on consoles over PC. It's simple. It doesn't require near as much management. It's a lot. It's not unpopular. What about all the PC Master Race dudes out there? PC gamers are fuming. And maybe it's not that unpopular of an opinion, but I mean that's all I can think of. You know? More people prefer console? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know, dude. Okay, let me try and think of another one. Okay, here we go. This is maybe my most controversial opinion. And Legion's gonna love this. Sonic the Hedgehog sucks ass. It's not even a fun game. And honestly, you can't really go fast very often because you'll die. So it's kind of stupid. The platforming is loose, and it's just not a very good play. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's like a bowl of porridge. It's like if somebody hands you a bowl of porridge that has like no flavor and whatever. I mean, you'll eat it. It'll fill you up, but it's just fucking porridge, man. It's like whatever. Okay? Just whatever. That's not opinion. That's facts. See, all right, we got some people fired up on this one. Look, they asked the question. I said it's a fucking opinion. He asked the question. I gave it to you. I knew some of you wouldn't like it. Suck my balls. There you go. You got the answer. My other one wasn't a big enough of a fucking hot take. Apparently. Anyway. Next question. Grunt Guru asks, what has been your favorite question today? This one right here. Grunt Guru, that was my favorite question right there. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of this. Legion asks, soft or hard shell tacos? And then, will you beat Sekiro before playing Elden Ring? I kind of answered that one earlier. I'm going to try to beat Sekiro. I'm struggling hard with the pairing system. But I'm going to try. Yeah, I'm going to try. Soft or hard shell? Soft. Soft. Like, I'll eat a hard shell taco, but if I have a choice between like a flour tortilla or a hard shell taco, I'm taking that flour tortilla all day. I'll take a corn tortilla, a soft tortilla. I'd rather have that than a hard taco. So, this one's from Baghead TV, who asks, where do you find stream appropriate music? It can be pretty hard to find non-copyright music for Twitch. I appreciate it. So I'm going to give you two resources right now, Baghead, if you're still here. This is for anyone in chat. The first is It's showing up right now in chat. It's at streamwiki.com. This is a resource that is put together by my buddy Knackers. Knackers is basically, he's compiled this list that it has a great bit of guides for resources where you can find music, etc. I personally use Streambeats by Harris Heller. You can find YouTube playlists of it. It's on Spotify. It's all royalty free. I also like to play a lot of the instrumental tracks of The Midnight because they've given it's DMC free, royalty free music. That's some of my favorite music. So yeah, I would say go check that out. And definitely check out Streambeats. And also another great tool is, what do you call it? Freaking, I'm trying, Pretzel Rocks. Pretzel Rocks is also great. Yeah, Rainwave. There's a lot of stuff out there. You just got to look for it. Could you post pictures of your background music playlists in Discord so I can steal it? Well, it's just, I've literally copied the Streambeats by Harris Heller. Just look at that. Streambeats by Harris Heller. Just look that up. Okay? That's all you got to look for. And there's a shit ton of music that you can pick from. They're in different genres, though. So look at the different albums that they got, you know? Yeah? Yeah, Baghead, you're welcome. Yo, what up, Wally? Yes, I used to be the middle-aged stream before we dropped the "the." And welcome in. We've been, you guys have had a lot of really good questions. And some that I've really had to kind of get introspective on. So, thank you. Next question. This one from Jimmy07. Wendy's, hot drinks or cold drinks? Ooh. I gotta go hot drinks, but I still love the cold drink song also. But yeah, I gotta go hot drinks. It's my jam. Hot drinks all the way. Yo, what up, Shard? Yo, Shard's here. Yeah, hot drinks for sure. Get you that juicy slice. Hot drinks really get you going. Lurkin' jerkin'. Yo, enjoy it. Enjoy that jerkin'. This one is from L. Wood J. Finley, who asks, if you could make an Assassin's Creed game about any time and place in history that hasn't been done yet, what would you pick? It's a really good question. I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game in full since Black Flag, which was more like a fucking pirate game than a Assassin's Creed game, which might be why I liked it. Look at this! I'll answer your question after this 42-month awesome resub from Wally.
Are you aware you popularized Guy on a Buffalo so much that it's in a Zaxby's commercial now? I'll send them an invoice for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the 42 months and the kind words, Wally. I actually stopped playing that because I didn't want to get DMCA. Because that's actually licensed music. And when Twitch started to like come down on that and flag videos, I stopped showing the Guy on the Buffalo video. Because like I was like, why are all my VODs getting muted? And I would look at the break and I was playing those videos and it was muting it while Guy on the Buffalo was playing. I'm like, ah, shit. I can't play Guy on a Buffalo anymore. You know? But yeah, I used to play those videos during breaks and stuff. So, thank you for the resub, man. Too kind. All right, next question. This is from person624. Any advice to us viewers for your stream or others? Try not to... Don't be a jerk. As a streamer or a viewer. And when I say that, I mean... There are people sometimes in streams that are just there to just cause... Like, poke at the streamer, and it's funny to mess around and joke around some of the time, but if that's literally like the first thing you do when you walk into a channel, you're probably just annoying the streamer. They might not say it, but if you can't even be bothered to come in and say hi without immediately jumping in and just start like trying to poke the streamer, like make fun of them, or like, oh, look at me, it's kind of annoying. Like, go in, say hi, read the room, see what's going on in chat. What is everyone talking about? Yeah. See what everyone's talking about. No, you didn't miss it. I was thinking still, Wood J. Finley. About what era? You know what would be cool? If they did a American Civil War Assassin's Creed, where maybe you could change history and you could take out like John Wilkes Booth before he kills Lincoln. Like maybe you're in like you're in the movie theater right before Lincoln's assassinated. Maybe you got to take out the assassin. Like that'd be cool. You know, I would like that. Maybe do some secret missions to try and take out some Confederate generals and shit like that. That'd be kind of cool. I would like that because I like U.S. history stuff. So, or your Booth? No, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. No Hammer asks, what is the meaning of life? $37. The meaning of life. Safi asks, how do you get started with being a VTuber? What equipment or programs do you need? Is it hard on the computer? So it really depends on what you want to use. There's multiple programs out there for VTubing. It can be intensive on your CPU unless you optimize it. So like, unless you have a really good CPU, and if you're trying to do it really just kind of depends on what you're trying to do with your avatar. My avatar uses very little resources because it's not that complex. It's not that big. I'm not running it at like a high FPS. It's 30 frames per second, which is fine. But if you're trying to do something that's a lot more complex, that takes up more system resources. It's never been an issue for me, Safi, because I don't play a lot of PC games. If I do, it's an indie title that usually isn't very resource intensive. But there's a variety of things you could do. I'm using FaceRig, which I don't think they sell anymore, which is now Animaze, because the company went to a monthly subscription model, which, whatever, they're trying to make more money, I guess, right? But I didn't upgrade. I've been using this software for years. But yeah, there's other stuff like PNG tube avatars where you can mix PNG together and, you can make it, activate it. Like, there's a bunch of varieties of things that you could do to do that. So it really... Programs, there's a bunch of programs out there. It just kind of depends on what kind of avatar you want and what you're interested in doing. I will say this, if you're trying to have a custom avatar, that is the most expensive part of the process. Because nowadays, especially if you're trying to get even if it's a 2D rendering, you're looking at several $100s minimum to get that work done. It ain't cheap. Oh, what up, Van Belmont? No, we're doing an AMA. The beer will be back later. Don't worry. It's all good. So, what up, peeps? So, yes, AMA. Ask me anything about streaming. Type !AMA. It'll answer your questions. Look, if you've got some more specific, I can share some stuff with you that might help you out. So if you got something you're looking at and you want my opinion on it or whatever, we're friends. Shoot me a DM. I'll help you out. Okay? Just shoot me a DM if you got something you're specifically looking at, and I can tell you if I know about it or not, or help you out there. My VTubing setup is a lot simpler than the average VTuber. It's really simple. So I don't want you to think that I'm like this expert VTuber. And that's the thing though, too. even with something simple, it can crap out and mess up sometimes, you know? So, yeah. Thought about getting into streaming once I finished school this winter. The avatar was a sticking point for me. No one wants to see this ugly mug. So, Riv, are you thinking about using an avatar while streaming, you know? Is that what you're thinking about when you get through school? Use an avatar? I mean, it's a great happy medium between not using a webcam and like having just voice, right? It kind of fits that medium, and it also means you can be really creative with some of the things that you do, as creative as you want, because using an avatar basically means you're using a green screen essentially, you know, so you can make that character and put him in whatever situation you want to put him in, which is cool. Good question, Safi. Thank you for the question. All right, I got about 4 questions left right now. I got Hellhound, Hookahos, Kaz, and Enigmatic. So if you want to get back on the question list, now's your chance. We got about an hour. We're about an hour away from my wife coming to sit down and talk to y'all, and then we're gonna shave my mustache off. Okay. All right. What's the next question? What was the worst level that sticks out in Battletoads for you? That's another really good question. I would have to say Rat Race. Rat Race ended my run so many times, and trying to figure out, it took me a while to figure out that in order to make it all the way down the last section, you had to time your running and stop so you don't go too far. You would lose little fractions of a second every time you're going back and forth. So if you're not smart about how you're going down and kind of memorize where those openings are, you're fucked. You're fucked before you even start. So that level was a real son of a bitch. Clinger Winger, I would say was, but I kind of cheated by using the pause hack to get through it. In my defense, I don't have a CRT television, so there's already a little bit of lag. So it's almost impossible to do that way, you know? Yeah, the rat is also bugged out a few times. We had one time where we got soft locked in Clinger Winger. Or not in Clinger Winger, in Rat Race. And I was so pissed off. Do y'all remember that one night I was playing and we soft lock? We actually made it to the boss. And then the game soft lock on us. And I was so fucking pissed. There was no way out of it. There was no way out. I had to start the game over. Let's see. Yeah, Ben remembers. All right, next question. Good question, Hellhound. This one is from a dirty hookah hose. How do you personally define retro? Okay. So there's basically 2 answers to this question, right? Some people like to say retro is anything before like 3D type shit. I don't buy that because Nintendo 64 is 3D shit, and that's retro. I consider PS1. I try to use the 3 generations behind rule. Once my general rule is I consider it retro once it's 3 or more gens behind. So I consider PS2, OG Xbox, and GameCube to be retro games. Do some people agree with that? No. But that's my own personal belief. I also think if something is retro in nature, like Infernax or The Messenger or even Shovel Knight, that's also retro because it's made in that particular type of style. So it could be either time or it could be style, in my opinion. That's my own personal belief. I know that there's some people that have different opinions on that, and that's, again, it's been okay, you know? It's okay. So Gen X are retro people. Well, I'm a Zennial. I'm right on the edges. I'm actually about as old as you can be to be a millennial. 6 months. If I was born 6 months earlier, I'd have been a Gen X guy. Style sounds like a spicy opinion. I mean, that's how I see it. I mean, some people don't, but I do. And that's the question, right? How do I personally define it? That's how I personally define it. But Hookah Hose, Again, basically 3 gens when it comes to games that are like console games. I think 3 generations or less, you know? That's what I would say. Yeah, well, people would consider, some people do consider 90s bands classic rock. You know? All right, next question is from Kazgos, who says, what's your favorite kind of steak and beer pairing? You know what? I don't think I have a favorite steak and beer pairing, because usually if I'm having a steak, I will usually try and pair it with a nice glass of Cabernet or like a Pinot Noir, a nice red wine. But if I had to pick, I'd probably pick like something light and easy, because steaks can be pretty thick, right? So maybe like a nice crisp German lager would be good. I'd be okay with that. But no, I don't really have a specific steak and beer pairing, because I try to drink. I usually have a glass of wine with my steak when I eat steak. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, Mr. M. Just making you feel old, right? Yeah, red wine, good move with a steak, absolutely. And yes, I mean, if I can, I'll have sauteed mushrooms to go with it, because they're delightful. Absolutely delightful. Mm-hmm. Next question. This one from Enigmatic78. Favorite music genre to listen to when you aren't streaming? Great question. So I listen to a lot of alternative rock from the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and modern alternative. I listen to a lot of indie rock. I love classic rock from like the 70s, and then like 80s rock, which is a different type of rock, and even 80s pop music too. I like a lot of that. My favorite band is Third Eye Blind, and I like their whole range of albums. Yeah, I would say that's what I probably listen to most. I love 80s music. Like, I listen to a lot of 80s music. For sure. Mm-hmm. My favorite cut of meat, Kaz, is a ribeye, a bone-in ribeye, but I love filet too. It's my second favorite. Mm-hmm. No, it is. It is. Massive Creed, you're an idiot. Okay, here we go. This one is from L. Wood J. Finley, who says, what's a nonfiction book you think everyone should read? Ooh, that's a great question. Great nonfiction book we should all read. There's a book that came out in this last year. It's called, if you're an American, I would say read this book. It's called What Unites Us, and it's by Dan Rather. It's actually a kind of an inspiring book, and it talks about a lot of things about what inspires Americans to be uniquely American and bring us together in times of crisis. And I don't know, I really enjoyed that book. And if you don't know who Dan Rather is, he's one of the greatest like news reporters of all time. The dude has been, and he has been there reporting on major events for most of his life. He's retired now, but the man was a legend. He's been in a lot of high pressure types of situations. Didn't he recently pass? I don't think so. I think he's still alive. Pretty sure, because he's got a Twitter page. I'm pretty sure he's still alive. Yeah, back when the news was news. I think maybe my nose is itching a lot because I know I'm gonna have to shave this mustache soon, and I'm scared. I'm like, no. Yeah, he's still involved. He's still very much involved. Yeah, he's not like on the nightly news like he used to be, but he's definitely still doing work. You know. What up, Patch? And welcome in. KG Dot, good to have you here. What up, Quip? All right, next question. This one's from Abram. Abram Pav says, All right, hang on a second. Yours got cut off because it's long. Check your chat log. Chat log. Abram says... Hey. What's the one thing you look forward to when you start streaming? For example, spending time with your community, seeing everyone say hi to you. Great question. Honestly, I don't know if there's one singular thing. You mentioned one of my favorite things. I do enjoy interacting and saying hi, and you know, the people that are regulars and come back, like you get to know a bit about them and you know, experience when they're going through strife. And also when they're going through triumphs in life. And I think that even while it can also be a difficult thing with streaming, it's also one of the most enjoyable things about streaming. So yeah, I would say that one. I would also say I really enjoy, I enjoy rating other streamers. I know that may sound corny, but especially if it's like a big raid it doesn't really matter the size. It is a nice boost to raid like a smaller streamer that, you know, and give them a big boost, because I know what that's like when you're starting out or you haven't really grown a very large audience yet. And getting like a big raid, you know, it's a fun thing to do. And I've met a lot of great people on Twitch by doing that. So yeah. His own news site, News and Guts. I didn't know that. Wow. Anyway, hope that answers your question, Abram. Those things I always look forward to. And yeah. I mean, I know it sounds kind of cliche, but that's kind of why I stream, you know, is for the interaction. I don't know how it's so weird. You think about it like this. You know, I'm kind of in that spectrum of Twitch streamers, like that I would imagine the bulk of Twitch partners are, that, you know, have an average viewership of around 100 viewers, between 75 and 100. That's probably the bulk of Twitch partners. And, you know, that's kind of like where you really can have kind of still an intimate and, you know, chat's not crazy enough to where you can't get anything by, right? But when you think for a lot of streamers that become really, really, really big, once they become really, really big, chat's going so fast that they can't really interact very well. You know what I mean? What the heck's going on? Chard just coming out of lurk to just gift a sub to FNA TV. You're not too bad for a Seahawks fan, pal. Well, thank you so much. Beers up in chat. Yeah, they just respond to any random message they pick out. Exactly. It's almost like if you become that point of a streamer, you're back to where you started, where you don't have a lot of chat going on, so there's nothing for you to really go off of. And then if you have too much chat going on, it's impossible to talk to everybody. So I understand why a lot of people prefer to be in streams of this size. Not everyone. There's some people that don't mind having chat fly by a million miles an hour. You know, I had to put on the old man 10-second slow-mo just so I can try and keep up. You know? Yo, thanks, Chard. Yeah, and then you have the same messages again and again and again. And you can't how could you get mad at those people? Because it's like, well, I mean, shit, it's just flying a million miles an hour. All right, next question. Mr. M asks, pineapple on pizza, yes or no? No. If no, what about weird shit like mac and cheese on pizza or taco pizza? No and no. Not a fan. No, pizza, I'm very basic Becky when it comes to my pizzas. I like meat lovers. I like pepperoni, and I like Alfredo. That's about it. you know? So, yeah, I'm kind of a basic bitch when it comes to pizzas. That's all I really like, you know? Look, I'm not hating. If you like my wife, I love my wife. She's amazing. She's going to be coming to hang out in less than an hour. Sit down and let you guys ask her some questions, okay? She loves pineapple on pizza. You know how my wife eats the pizza? She fucking takes all the toppings and scrapes them off because she doesn't really like cheese on it. She just likes the little flavor it puts on the bread. So she wipes all the cheese and most of the sauce off. Then she takes the toppings from off the cheese and puts it back onto the bread. She eats like flavored bread with toppings. She doesn't eat the cheese or the sauce. That's how my wife eats pizza. My son won't even eat pizza. He won't eat pizza. He doesn't like pizza at all. Any type of pizza. He's 10. He'll be 11 in a few weeks. Won't eat a fucking pizza. What am I going to do? I'm not going to like make... I mean, I love him. It's my son and my wife. If you want to eat it the way you want to eat it, or not eat it, whatever. I know. No pizza. I know. No, she's not lactose. She just doesn't like... She loves cheese. She doesn't like mozzarella. She doesn't like mozzarella cheese. What up, Fink Leroy? Look, I was talking about my wife and son. I love pizza. I don't like pineapple on pizza. I'll eat it, but I'm not ordering it for myself. Like if I go to a party or a get together and they're like, "Oh, we got pizza," and if there's pineapple on it, I'm not gonna bitch about it and be like, "Oh, man, I can't eat pineapple," because I can just pick it off, right? But would I order it myself? No. No. But I know that people love it, and some people... I'm not a big fan of anything sweet. I don't eat a lot of sweets. I just don't really... I don't eat a lot of desserts. I don't really... Just don't like... I think it's just my palate doesn't care for it. So, tacos your favorite? Variety of flavors and textures. And that's understandable, Ben. I'm not hating on people that... Because like I said, my wife... I love her. She loves pineapple on pizza, so... Whatevs. Okay. All right. Kaz has a question. It's too long. So let me find your chat log so I can finish reading the whole thing. What was your favorite computer game growing up? And do you remember that random Winnie the Pooh one? I do know that Winnie the Pooh one, yes. And I'll answer your question right after this resub from Retro Drew TV.
Love the new avatar, Jimmy.
Oh, thank you. Very realistic, isn't it, Drew? Thank you for your 19 months of Prime Gaming. Oh, beers up in the chat room for Retro Drew TV. Thank you, sir. Welcome in. I personally find out pineapple's too sweet. Picking off them, I can still taste. I just don't like the flavor. Yeah, I'm not on pizza at least. I'm not a huge one. Look at this. More Dickles.
Quality product, good sir.
Dickles. Thank you, Raging Bulldog, for the 4-month resub. You're too kind. Thank you. And get them beers up. Or them ghosts. Your favorite emotes. Okay. Kaz's question was, what was my favorite game growing up as a kid? And the answer to that would probably be either a tie between my favorite two computer games. I'll say computer games and then I'll say console, right? My favorite two computer games were Quest for Glory 2 by Sierra and then Space Quest 4 by Sierra, like point and click adventure style games. And then on my first actual console that I had in my... Well, I had an Atari, but I don't want to count that. My first good console was an NES, and my favorite games on there were Mega Man 3 and probably Mario 3. So those were probably my very, very favorite growing up, you know? Yeah. There you go. Oh, and thank you for your lurk. Thank you. Why do I not count Atari? Because Atari is not a lot of good games. Pac-Man sucked on the Atari. Fuck that. The Atari port of fucking Pac-Man was absolute shit sandwich. If you don't know what I'm talking about, fucking YouTube it. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's a shit sandwich. I never played that one, Fiery Pumpkin. Welcome in. And Sharyoshi, good to see you. Next question is from Nullhammer. How do you calm down after a game frustrates you? Hang on, it got cut off. Where is Nullhammer? I'm looking for you in chat, Nullhammer, so I can pull up your chat log. I can't find what color you are. I know you're in here. There you are. Okay. Nullhammer asks, where is it? How do you calm down after a game frustrates you? I feel like I get too angry on stream sometimes. I don't think it's conducive to a good stream. Well, most of the time when I'm getting pissed off, I'm just memeing. I'm not that mad. And so for me, I don't have no problem being self-deprecating or, you know, take a trip to the salt layer. The best thing to do is find a way you can take a brief time out to let yourself kind of just catch your breath and not be so pissed off. So, like, I'll go to the salt mines, right? And my little special scene for that. Sometimes I'll take a break. Sometimes it's good to just step away. I hate the mentality that a lot of streamers have that you can't take breaks while streaming. Man, you should be taking a break, in my opinion, every 60 to 90 minutes. Otherwise, it's not good for your health to just be, unless you have a standing desk or something. But even then, you don't want to just be stuck in the same place all the time. Take a break. Take at least a couple minutes for yourself every, 60 to 90 minutes. 2 hours tops. And that, honestly, just getting the blood flowing and just taking a step back can do wonders for calming you down. So that would be my advice, if that helps. Yeah, no, honestly, Dr. Big, it's really, most of it I'm just kind of hamming it up. Now, I might be annoyed, but I'm not like, I'm really not as mad as I'm kind of playing it up for the stream most of the time. Now there are, if I'm really angry, you could tell there's a difference, because if you've been around long enough, you'll be able to tell even the difference in my voice, there's a lot more sighing. Good question. All right, next question is from Vexatious1029. Says, what's your favorite hobby or little thing you like to do outside of streaming and playing video games? So, I do actually enjoy reading for leisure. I don't do it as much these days, but I read a lot of periodicals. I read a lot of nonfiction. I don't really read much fiction these days because I get all my fiction I need from video games. So, I do read books. I read magazines and news articles a lot. Like, I can just sit in a chair with a drink and just sit and read, like, in an afternoon, I still enjoy reading comics. I'll still pop, like, from time to time, I'll dive back into Calvin and Hobbes and, like, go through the entire collection, just binge all my way through it. So that's up there. I do enjoy kayaking in the summer times. That's a hobby I really like doing. I like to eat, but I don't know if that's a hobby. I really do enjoy eating, like, good quality food. Beer tasting. Not really a golf guy. I've played golf, Drew, but it's kind of a really expensive hobby, and I'm not very good at it. So, I don't play a lot of golf. I played a lot more when I was still in the Army because it was cheaper, because I could play on military bases. It was a lot cheaper back then. But playing on like a private course or a country club, it's like 3 times as more expensive than playing, you know, when you're active duty military, you know? I would rather play mini golf than actual golf, if that answers your questions. I love going to the movies. And now that COVID is wearing down and vaccinated, we've actually gone to the movies a couple times the last month or two, which has been fun. And I've missed that. I've really missed going to the movies. So yeah, those are like, those are most of my hobbies, so to speak. Next question from Enigmatic78. What charity are you most passionate about? You know, there's so many great charities out there. I can't say that I'm more passionate about one than the other. I can tell you that I am passionate about charities that support things I like. I can tell you that. Like, you know, I'm trying to be an ally to the LGBTQIA plus, what I think that's all it is now. Because I'm a, you know, a straight dude myself, cisgendered male. But I need to be using my... I feel like I'm at a point in my life now where I need to be using... I should be speaking out more as an ally of the community. So we recently did that for Point of Pride, which supports the trans community, which is amazing. We did that fundraiser last weekend. I've done fundraisers in the past for St. Jude's, which is for, you know, kids with diseases and cancer, right? I've done it for the Trevor Project, which is for mental health and suicide prevention. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great, worthwhile charities out there, but I couldn't say that it's more about what is the cause, right? There are certain causes that I'm passionate about rather than perhaps a particular charity, right? Good question. Next question. What's the best trend in modern gaming? Best trend? I would say one of the things that I like in modern gaming now is that they're not in all games, but in most modern games, there's a lot more accessibility options for streamers that have disabilities. Whether that's, you know, like physical disabilities that makes it harder to manipulate a regular standard controller or keyboard and mouse. They've got a lot of other ways. And then also if you have like there's a lot of games now I've seen that have include like color blindness mode and, you know, different caption settings based off that. I think games are becoming more accessible to everyone, not just if you're a fully functioning human that has no physical handicap at all, right? So yeah, I would say that is what I think is the best new kind of trend in gaming, you know? Oh, and Riff, they are, and I understand. I mean, that's part of what the work that they do, you know? And that's a hard thing to do with it, and it's a worthwhile endeavor. Next question from Quipark, who asks, Tails or Luigi? Luigi. Tails is okay. I actually think I like Tails more than Sonic, honestly. Because at least Tails is like... he can fly and shit with his tails, which is kind of cool. Next question. What are your favorite beer koozies? So if I'm drinking a can, I really like this thing. It's like a Yeti, but it's like an off-brand one. It's called Arctic. But it's like one of these Yeti coolers. You can put a metal can in this bitch, and it stays cold for a long time. Otherwise, if you use a standard koozie, it doesn't, you know. I have a bunch of these bottle koozies. This is one of my favorites, the Texas Tech one I got way back when, in Lubbock, actually, when my older sister used to live there. But I got a bunch of these, I usually put a koozie on my drink just to make sure it stays cold for as long as possible. You know? I look like Luigi. No. No. I don't look like Luigi. Next question. Dr. Big 79 asks, back to pizza, New York thin or Chicago thick? New York thin all day. I don't like Chicago style pizza. Maybe I haven't had a really good one, but I love a good New York thin crust pizza. That's my favorite style of pizza. Or it could be hand tossed too, like pan style, but a New York style is my favorite type of pizza, for sure, without a doubt. I've never been to Chicago, so I've never maybe had a really good, authentic Chicago pizza. That might be my problem. Maybe one of these days I need to go to Chicago. But I've never actually had a good one. I've tried Chicago style pizza, but I've never had one that I was like, oh, this is so good. It's like there's just too much fucking toppings and shit. I like thin crusts. You know? I like thin crust. It's not a thick crust. Oh, I know it's not thick crust, but it's filled up with all these toppings like a casserole. I know. But that's what I just said, Chaz. It's got like all this fucking shit in it. Toppings. It's got all these toppings. I had deep dish in Chicago. It was a whole different experience to New York style. Both incredible. Sliggy, if I had actually been to a place that has good... I'm not saying it's shitty pizza. I think it's a lot easier to perhaps to make good New York style pizza than good Chicago style pizza. Because I've had way more good New York style than I've ever had. I've never had good Chicago style. Not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I haven't had it. What up, Renaya? Yeah, it's a casserole. Oh, yeah, Riff. And, you know, there's actually a few places I've been to, even here in Texas, that serve New York style pizza that's pretty damn authentic to the real deal. But that's also because those people are from New York originally. New Haven style. Oh, in Connecticut. I've actually heard that's pretty good, Chaz. Yeah, welcome in. Where's the rest of it? Yeah, see, you're too much a Chicago fan lover. You gotta appreciate it's totally different style. Again, that's my preference. I prefer New York style. That's just my thing. This next one is from Fiery Pumpkin. Hold on, I got a little cut off, so let me scroll up a little bit. Find Fiery Pumpkin in the chat so I can click on you. Here you go. All right, Fiery Pumpkin said, did your Jimbles Beer mascot take any inspiration from Master Shake? I've been watching it and getting big middle-aged stream vibes. It was kind of unintentional. But yes, it was an unintentional coincidence. Because the avatar itself was based off of my very first emote. Which is the beer dance, the Jimbles Beer emote. This one. But it's just without the arms and legs, obviously. Back when Twitch gave affiliates literally just one single emote. And they actually gave you one for each sub-tier. You got one for tier 1, another one for tier 2, and another one for tier 3. Originally, it was just the one, and then they came out with that. So the avatar was based off of that particular emote. So, yeah. And this was designed actually with kind of a Ren and Stimpy type feel to it. That was what I gave the artist direction, and they nailed it. And then when it was time to switch to an avatar, it just made the most sense. I was like, why don't we base it off of this? So when you take off the arms and legs, it definitely resembles that, but that wasn't what it was intentionally trying to do. With that being said, I love Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Master Shake's my favorite character on the show. I'm very sarcastic like he is, and have a lot of quips. I quip at things a lot. So it's good that you caught that, Fiery Pumpkin, but that wasn't actually by design. It was really more of an unintentional coincidence. So Next question. Enigmatic78 says, what is your dream car? You know, when I was younger, I had a dream car. Now, I just need something that gets me from point A to point B. I don't care. Like, I've been driving the same old beat-up truck for years. It's a 2001 Chevy. I don't care anymore. I mean, I guess if cost was no object and I could pick something out just to fuck around and drive in, I would probably say a Dodge Viper. Yeah. Dodge Viper RT10 that's like a cobalt blue with white stripes. That would be sweet, man. I would probably die. I'd probably die if I had one of those, you know? Electric Hummer? Wow, I didn't even know they made those. You know? You would want a Dodge? A Viper's badass, dude. You asked me. It's an unpractical fucking sports car, you know? But I think it's one of the most amazing. I love the way the body looks on the Viper. It's just a cool design for a car. I just think it looks so fucking sleek. And I've always been impressed with it, you know? Dodge Viper truck with a Ram with a Viper engine. Holy shit. That sounds amazing. Next question is from Big Ben 1701. Any upcoming games you're looking forward to playing offline or streaming? So, I know there's a lot of titles coming out this year, but I think one of the things of streaming a lot of retro is that you kind of lose track of the release calendar of when shit's coming out. And I know there's some big titles coming out real soon, but honestly, I can't even think of any off the top of my head. I've got such a huge backlog of games to play through that it's hard for me to say, oh, I can't wait to play this, right? I could say Elden Ring because that just came out, and I am looking forward to playing that later. I really want to get into the Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, but I want to wait until I have a PS5 so I can play it at 60 frames instead of playing. I even have Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4, but with all the DLC that I got on sale, but I haven't played it because I'm like, at this point, I might as well wait for a PS5 so I can play it at a higher res and higher frame rate, you know? The fact you played through Cyberpunk was surprising. Well, I was enjoying the story a lot, and I did enough of that on stream. I didn't want to go through everything, and I gave chat the shittiest ending possible, right? But yeah. What the hell happened to my music? That was weird. Like it just stopped playing. It just turned off. Odd. Let's switch it to this. We'll play a little Midnight now. 90 hours to 100%. Rob, that's the thing, like, I don't really 100% games anymore at all. I just got too much, I've got too many other games I want to play, you know? Next question. This one from Van Belmont, who asks, why are you shaving your stash? Because it was a stretch goal from last weekend's charity stream. I said if we went over $4,000, I would shave it off for charity. So I'm shaving it off for charity. There you go. Next question. Mr. M says, have you ever tried to get into any MMOs or been interested in trying any? You know, the only MMOs I've ever really gotten into was the OG that Star Wars Galaxies, because it was Star Wars. And then I also played shortly after it came out, I was playing Star Wars The Old Republic. But at the end of the day, MMO gameplay does not interest me. There's a lot of grind that happens in MMOs. And yeah, it's hard because to really advance, you really have to commit a lot of time to just one of those games. And it's like you're doing a lot of the same shit over and over and over again. So it's just that gameplay. It's hard for me to just play one game over time a lot, you know? So, yeah. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of grind. So, to answer your question, no, I don't really do MMOs. It's not my style. I'm not shitting on them. Just not for me. Just not for me. Next question is from Bowser724. Do you have someone that helps you build your PC or add new parts, or do you do it all myself? I've done it all myself. Thanks to YouTube videos and DMs with pictures with like knackers and shit. But yeah, I've done it all myself. I've never... All my hardware, all the software configuration, I'm the one who does all that. And I've had a lot of help, you know, like learning how to do all the stuff, right? But yeah, I've done it all myself. The Verge's build guide. No, I was just watching individual YouTube videos like, how do I install CPU? How do I install CPU fan? I would just go step by step, right? You know? Next question. Do you have someone... Oh, that was the question. Raging Bulldog asks, since Texan is an open sword carry state, what type of sword do you carry? EP... Raging Bulldog, it's also an open carry for guns, so I carry this bad boy. I carry these guns around, baby! I don't need no sword when you got these freaking guns! There you go. Nullhammer says, your stream room isn't attached to the house. You have to walk through bad weather. Yeah, I do, but it's not that far from the house. Literally, I'll be outside 10 seconds tops to get back to the house and inside. So it's not a big deal. But no, it is close to the house, but it's not actually attached to the house. So there you go. Next question. Have you watched animated Street Fighter and shitted on it? I haven't watched a lot of the animated Street Fighter. The little I saw of it way back when was okay. I don't watch a lot of animated much of anything these days. I've never been into anime. It's not my thing. My son loves it, but I've never really watched much of it, you know? Yeah, it's already poop in the yard, guys. I poop in the yard. I'm used to the weather. It's easy. When are you gonna speedrun Mass Effect? See, that's another one. I have that Mass Effect, like the enhanced edition that's been sitting in my library waiting to play. Shit, they went ahead and put that bitch on Game Pass. I'm like, damn, I bought that. Now it's on Game Pass, but I'll want to come back to it at some point. You know? I want to come back to it. Yay, it works. Yo, it works, Kaz. It works. All right, we are officially out of questions. So, yeah. You were playing it on Game Pass? Nice. We actually made. How did I meet Mrs. Jimbles from Enigmatics? We actually met through mutual friends. And we met at a bar. When I met her, I was 24 and she was 25 when we met. So we met at a bar through some mutual friends of ours, and I got her number, and then I asked her on a date like the next weekend. There you go. Next question. What do you think makes the difference between people who can hit 50 plus viewers regularly on Twitch and people who cannot? I don't know. 50 plus? You mean just having a maybe larger than average audience on Twitch, right? That's a good question. I mean, there's a lot of factors involved with Jay Finley. Is the stream entertaining? Are they giving some type of, how good is the streamer at interacting with their audience? What kind of value do they bring to the stream? And, you know, just how good are they at streaming? If they've got good audio and they check a lot of the boxes that people look for when they come into a stream, you're probably going to be able to maintain an audience. If you're missing one of those boxes, like maybe your overlays are all fucking shitty and it's too distracting, or maybe you maybe your microphone is like peaking all the time and you don't even know it, right? So any one of those elements could be missing. So you got to make sure, if you're trying to maintain and grow an audience on Twitch, you got to continue. They're the people that continue to improve what they're doing. If you're not improving as a Twitch streamer, then it's going to be very hard to grow your audience. So in order to grow an audience, you got to figure out what needs improvement and improvement. So like you asked, what's the difference between the 50 plus and not 50 plus? You have to pass that certain threshold. And even then, it's not even a guarantee. There's some luck involved also. You know, there's luck involved. And that luck could be, what is the game category you're playing in that could, you know, be the potential for your growth. I don't mean luck in the sense that you got rated by a large streamer, because the reality is if you get rated by a large streamer, a lot of those people are never going to come back, and a lot of those people may not even follow the channel. It might just be a temporary boost. What I always try and do if I get rated is, in my mind, I'm going to say, I want at least one person from this raid to try and make a connection with that that's new, and encourage them to come back. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, that's my answer. Next question from Van Belmont. Did you ever know anyone in the army that reminded you of Master Chief in real life? No. I didn't know anyone 7 feet tall that had body armor and space weapons and a fucking energy sword in the army, so no. Next question from Quipark. Have you ever freeze-dried Skittles? Also no. I have not. I don't even like Skittles that much. They're too sweet. Noel Hammer asks, are you having a good time today? I guess you guys are running out of questions to ask, huh? Yes, Noel Hammer, this has been fun. You know? And believe it or not, we're almost near the end of the AMA portion. We've been live now for nearly 3 hours. Does anyone have any other questions they want to ask about streaming before I go get my wife here in a minute? Because I'm going to have to do a couple of adjustments to the microphone. Probably gonna have to turn off the AC in here just because otherwise it'll be too loud when I turn the gain up on the mic. It's not gonna sound as good. There was a ton of great questions, and if you missed some earlier, don't worry. I'm gonna put all this on YouTube. I'll splice them all together and throw them on YouTube. Okay. If you could have any company sponsor your stream, who would it be? Ooh, that's a great question. If it was beer, I would say Jester King, because it's my favorite craft beer company. If it was a bigger, even bigger than them, would be Shiner, would be awesome. If it was food, I would say Cheez-Its. And if it was a game company, I would say, I would love to be sponsored by Xbox, and mainly because I use my Xbox more than any other console. So if I got like an Xbox like sponsorship or something where, you know, maybe they gave me Game Pass for free or whatever, something I could get out of it, that'd be nice. So yeah. Does that answer your question? That's about all I can think of. Woodjay says, are there any game critics you follow? I follow Jim Sterling. I've been following him a long time. But other than that, I don't think I have any other individual game critics that I follow. I like Jim Sterling from his days from Destructoid. And now he's off doing his own thing, where he's independent critic, and he does a lot of really interesting takes on shit. So, I'm not gonna read that. Van Belmont, you son of a bitch. What's your favorite childhood memory of something you got away with? I broke a coffee table once, and I glued with super glue the leg back on. It had like pegs that went in, but it snapped off. Got super glue and glued it back together. And parents never knew it was me that broke it. They never knew it was me that broke it. They knew it broke because eventually one time, like, I think my dad went to set some shit on it, and the table just went, and he looked at the piece, like, hey, this has been glued back on. Who glued this leg on here? I'm like, fuck, I don't know. Weird. That's weird. It must have been like that. Must have been like that. Shit. Don't know. Huh. You were right about me just coming for Jackbox. I came back to spite you. Yo, Cream Fart Andy, thank you. What a lovely name. I don't think... I probably did blame Kaz, you know? I probably did. If there was any streamer you could do a co-op stream with, who would it be? Ooh, that's a good question, Bowser. I've already done some streams with some... I guess if I were to reach out, I would love to do... I mean, I would go back to the beginning. Future Man Gaming, like, I kind of have a little bit of a fangirl crush on him. Like, he follows me now on Twitch and Twitter, and like, he raided my channel like a month or two ago, and I was just like, I could barely even make a coherent sentence because, you know, I was fangirling because he's always been one of my favorite streamers. I just think the dude's hilarious. So I would probably say Future Man Gaming. I would love to do a co-op stream with him someday and play a game together and just have fun. I wouldn't even need to stream it. I would just want to play a game with him, you know? It'd be fine. Pogo, that doesn't even make any sense. I don't even know what an extra burnt flavor of Cheez-It is. You are a liar. Did your question get skipped? I've been only reading what's on the list. Mr. Self-Destruct, I don't think I remember seeing you in the queue. You might have not put it in correctly. What was your question? Oops, hang on. Let me see here. You wrote... Check your message log. Oh, I see it now. Oh no, it might... I don't know why it didn't go in. How do you manage your scenes so fast? So I use a macro board. I can't pick it up right now because it doesn't have enough reach. I use a 16-button macro board to switch scenes. I also have a stream deck that I have scenes organized by category, like emotional reaction, raid, chat redemption. So I just kind of have it organized, and I know, like, if my mind starts thinking about me wanting to switch scenes, I'm getting it set up, or I've got my finger on the button ready to press it. If that makes sense. So that's how I change scenes usually pretty quickly and seamlessly, and without where it seems like it all runs together. That takes, and I mess up sometimes, and sometimes it takes practice. But yeah, you know, extra toasted Cheez-Its are the shit, guy with a girl. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, I just glued it back, Drew. I don't think I've ever had bacon and cheddar. I just like the original, man. I occasionally like the they have like a Monterey Jack one. It's pretty good. And then the crispy, those Cheez-It like waves or whatever they're called, they're pretty good. Yeah, sometimes I fat finger something and it'll accidentally go to the wrong scene. It happens. I'm not perfect. I am planning on getting one of those stream pedals, which integrates too with your Stream Deck, and having foot pedals for that, which would be a nice upgrade. But if you're streaming, it's not even for streaming. Like, you can use it besides that. Having a Stream Deck is huge. And I would say get the one that's 15 buttons. Don't get the 4-button one. I mean, you could still do shit with 4 buttons, but 15 is like the size. Or if you really want, you could have the XL version that's got like 30 fucking buttons, but I don't think I even need that many, you know? So, Morbid, you can drink, no worries. Oreos, actually, I don't mind Oreos too. Yeah, you can drink. I've been taking it easy because it's a long stream and I didn't want to go too hard in the paint early. We're in the last few moments of the AMA. We're getting ready to have my wife visit. That you can ask her some questions. She'll hang out with me for a bit. And then we'll shave the stash and take a quick little break. But yeah, I hope that you guys... there was a lot of great questions. It looks like the last one we have here. Most embarrassing story about your brother Kaz you can tell on stream. Okay, I got one. So Kaz, when he was like 5 or 6 years old, got his hand stuck in a VCR. Like, couldn't get it out. It was when our parents weren't even at our parents weren't home, so we had to like call one of my friend's dads, and he came over and like basically got his hand out with a bunch of fucking dish soap. Like, ruined the VCR. Had to get a new VCR. My dad was all pissed. I was like, what do you want me to do, man? I mean, how the fuck? I mean, yell at Casper. He's got the fucking hand stuck in the VCR. Yeah. So, don't yell at me. It's not my fault. You know? Brightburn. Yeah, I'm from Texas. Yo, Oreo Lovin', your username checks out. Welcome in. What up, Brewster? Yeah. We're actually just finishing up this AMA, but don't worry. For those of you that missed it, I'll get it all sliced up and nice and neat, and I'll put it on YouTube's for you. Okay? Yeah, how could I shove your hand? How could I do that? But did you guys, do you think we should do another one of these at some point in the future? Another AMA down the road? It's not going to be like anytime real soon, but it was fun to sit and just kind of vibe back and forth with you guys, you know? I tell you what. Let me close the AMA portion for just now. And we're getting ready to bring in Mrs. Jimbles. Before we do that, I need to change it to ask my wife a question. You guys can start stacking your questions. Remember, it'll only keep one in the queue, okay? So if you want to ask Mrs. Jimbles a question, terms of service appropriate, go ahead and get it in there. What I need to do next is I need to adjust this microphone. Because she's going to be sitting right here, and I got to up the gain. 1 second. Mic setup. I don't want to forget what my settings are. Okay, let me turn the gain up. Hello, check. Whoa. How's that? Can you guys hear me from right there? Where it's not too bad? Let me turn off the... Let's see how this sounds. How's that? Is it too low? Hang on. Because we'll be sitting a little bit further away. How's this? Is this okay? Is that loud enough? Is that good? Stop whispering! No! I'm sorry. Oh, wait. How's that? It's because the slider got knocked down. I might need to turn it down a little. Okay, good. Is this gonna be good enough? Better? Okay. All right, let me go get Mrs. Jimbles real quick. She's gonna need a minute. Okay. And we will be back in just a few moments. Okay, chat. So don't touch that dial. We will. We'll be right back. And I gotta grab my shaver. Okay. Yeah, phrasing. All right, I'll BRB.